using AI to understand the questions and the fears that your audience is dealing with. I do this every month. I pull up, what are the 25 to 30 biggest fears and questions that my audience is asking right now.
I didn't have to be the one standing behind the camera directing these people. I could have an intern that is well trained to tell them, okay, hey, your first FAQ that you wrote on this list is how much does it cost to work with me? Okay, go ahead and answer that question.
Every 60 to 90 days, try to spend and get a reset on where is the technology and what should I be looking at implementing.
On episode 477 of the podcast, we're talking about how AI can save you 20 plus hours a week by automating your boring admin tasks. Plus, that means you don't have to do them. We also go over why creating daily video content for your own brand doesn't have to eat up your entire schedule, and then the simple Q&A format that'll get you creating consistent content without scripting. Here we go. What is up, my friend, and welcome to the Grow Your Video Business Podcast. I'm Ryan Coral, and I'm here to help you scale your video production company without losing your mind, sacrificing your soul, or your weekends. There's my new tagline. Today, I get to sit down with Jonathan Mast, aka the White Beard AI guy, who's built a community of 500,000 entrepreneurs who are using AI to get their time back and to make a bigger impact, and lots of cool stuff. He is a great teacher, and I'm really excited for you to meet him and to learn from him. I definitely have already implemented one of the things, my aha moment during this interview, I've already been implementing, and it's working and it's cool. So you're gonna wanna check it out. Before we jump in, I want to remind you that every single week I send out a newsletter where I recap the podcast episode of that week, pull out the most actionable stuff so that you don't have to take notes while you're doing whatever it is. What do you do when you are listening to this show? Like, what are you doing? Are you pumping iron? Are you riding a bike? Are you jogging? I remember one of the first emails I got after we launched the show was, hey, Ryan, you have helped me to not be fat, or it was something like that. And my friend Doug, I'm not going to say his last name just to avoid any embarrassment, which I know he wouldn't be, but anyway, just to protect the innocent or the guilty, he said, yeah, I listen to you on my runs in the morning, and thank you for helping me have a reason to run. He probably didn't say giving him a reason to run, but I was a good excuse or something like that. So that's a total aside. So if you want homework, if you want all of this stuff in a nicely packaged email package, then sign up to my newsletter. And the best, easiest way to do that is at studiosherpas.com/newsletter. And you just throw in your email address, and then you'll start getting these weekly emails. Plus, the mastermind that I lead when I host our next in-person event, the Onward Summit. Dates to be announced. Who knows, but pretty soon, because we're going to be doing this in 2026. And just any cool thing that we've got going on here. I'm trying to keep you connected to all the things, so you don't have to be connected to all things. That's part of the work that I'm doing here. And then also to connect you with each other. So anyway, check out the newsletter. It's totally free. I just hit the shotgun mic up there. Fortunately, that's not the mic I'm using. I'm using this one. You can check it out again. studiosherpas.com/newsletter. And you can join my list of 500,000 people, just like Jonathan's. Just kidding. It's not close to 500,000. We're at like half. We have half a person in our community. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I am grateful that you're here. It's a joy to be able to do this. So let's go. Let's jump into this episode. Enjoy this one, and let me know. Feedback. What are you liking? What are you not? It's 2026. What do you want more of? What do you want less of? I'm here for you. Okay, that's it. Let's go. Roll the episode. Here we go. What's up, my friend? Hey, welcome to another episode of the show. Today with me is Jonathan Mast, who is the founder of Whitebeard Strategies. And Jonathan, I'm really curious to know, where did you get the name Whitebeard Strategies? Like, where did that even come from? How did you
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, we were sitting around one day talking about business names. One of my least favorite things to do in the world is come up with business names. And, everybody, we think all these interesting names and everything else. And it was my wife gets the credit for it. At one point, she goes, I think you just need to talk about something to do with your white beard because you're now old and wise. And I'm like, well, I don't know about the old part or the wise, but I'm game for the white beard. And we leaned into it and we've had a ton of fun. It's been a great brand and continues to be. We're loving it.
I love it. Well, man, thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed your talk at AI Marketing World, and just excited that I get to introduce you to the audience. But also, I'm just excited to get some one-on-one time with you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. Yeah, it was a great conference, by the way. So yeah, let's go. It'd be fun.
Well, as you think about, most of the people that I'm spending time with, in the video production space, service-based businesses, they don't have time to do their own marketing. So much of what we're trying to do is, how do we serve our clients? I got to shoot, I got to edit. So we fall on our faces when how's your social media? It's like, it's not great. It's super inconsistent. I don't have time to do it. I'm too busy doing the things. One of the beautiful things that I think AI has helped people like us is, wow, we could actually, we can buy back some of our time. We can create some stuff at scale. When you, and certainly you talk to a lot of service-based businesses, what are some of the go-to things that we might not even be realizing that we should be utilizing AI in some ways that could help us market or grow?
Good question. Well, my background's in digital marketing. I ran an agency for years, so I always lean into that part of AI just because it's so natural for me. But to me, AI is designed to amplify our skill and experience, and it should do three things for us, especially as business owners. It should save us time because it can do that in spades. It should make us more money because when we can save more time and get more done, we should be able to be more profitable. And the other thing it can do for us is it lets us deliver more value to our audience. And the really cool thing that gets me excited, Ryan, is for the first time in my 56 years, we can actually, as business owners, do all three things at the same time. Typically, if I'm trying to make more money, I've got to deliver a little bit less or maybe not as much value, certainly not as fast. It's kind of that old, you can do it fast, you can do it well, or you can do it cheap. Pick any two.
Right.
But now we almost get to do all three. And that to me, I don't want to lean into the cheap so much, but that to me is what's so exciting, because we can amplify what we're doing. And so the average business owner, I think, looking at AI, because we all need better social media. Even I do. I mean, I post more than most by a long shot, but even I could improve what I'm doing. And I could never do what I'm doing if it weren't for AI helping me amplify that. At the same time, I'd love to make it really clear that from my perspective, Ryan, AI is not meant to replace what you're doing. And I often compare it to, let's imagine we're going to go to an event and we've got a musical and there's a pit orchestra there. And we could have the best flautist and the best, or flutist, I don't know how to say that, the best, and the violinist and the cellist and everybody else, are the best people. But if there's no conductor there, all we're going to get out of that orchestra is ultimately noise, because nobody's going to be guiding them, telling them when to come in and when to crescendo and when to do all, and I've forgotten most of my musical terms, but all of that, we need a conductor. We need somebody to conduct that orchestra. And we as humans and as entrepreneurs are the conductor, and AI is our orchestra. It is really good at a lot of stuff, but if we don't provide it with direction, it doesn't do anything for us. So getting back to your question, because I know I've kind of skirted that, I apologize. I think it's looking at those things that we have to do on a day-to-day basis, that one, we don't love doing, but need to be done. And then the other is things like social media. Most of us don't mind social media, but we just don't have the time to do it. And so it's then looking as a business and saying, okay, what are the things I should be doing more of that I'm not doing because I don't have time? And finding ways to bring AI into both of those areas.
That's really good. Here's one thing that I discovered recently. Perplexity, is it Comet? Is that their browser?
Comment? Oh yeah, love Comment. It's my default
Dude.
browser. Love it.
So what's fascinating, I've never done research before my discovery calls. This is like, I'm 20 years into this work. And the reason why I didn't early on, because I'm like, I don't have time to like go to their website, and like, try to figure out what they're doing or whatever. Oh my gosh. To like, tell Comet, hey, I've got or have my assistant tell Comet, hey, Ryan has a discovery call with this client, this business. What are they doing right now? Like, what kind of stuff are they focusing on? And for it to give you a report and a couple of talking points, and my assistant can do that work, and then she can copy and paste it into my little Google Meets notes, so that when I'm having a conversation, I have very specific things that I can bring up. It's not, it's relevant. Like that's just one example of something I'd never had the time to do before. Now it takes, 5 seconds to prompt the thing. It might take a minute or two because it's doing some deep research to look this stuff up. But man, that has been super duper helpful to feel a little bit more confident of like, hey, here are some gaps that they might have. It can look at their website and say they don't have any videos anywhere. So maybe bring that up.
Well, no, and that's one of those great examples of things that we wish we had time to do, but there's not enough time in the day. And AI is so good at doing things like that. I'm right now, while we're on this podcast, I got a call from a friend of mine, and he runs a magazine, and he's like, Jonathan, is there any chance you can get me an article by next week? The normal answer would be fat chance. There's no way I can get it done. But he sent me an email this morning. I literally went into AI, and I'm using Manus, which is one of the tools to do that. I've already trained it on who I am. It knows all about me. It knows about my business. It knows about the way I think. It's got access to most of my trainings that I've done. And I basically said, I want to write an article about 1,500 words. I want it to be on this topic, and here's who the audience is. It's literally right now writing that article for me. Historically, I just would have never had time to do that. Now, when it's done, that's going to go to his editorial team, and they'll make a couple tweaks and things like that. But it'll be 95% of the way there because of the training that I've done with it. And now that I have that, anything that I'm writing really falls into that, and it works so amazingly well. And that's what's exciting to me, because there were a lot of opportunities like that I think we've all ran into, that we just said, there's not enough bandwidth. I can't do that. I love your example. Same thing for me when I'm doing podcasts and things like that. And I typically, I'm the ADHD visionary guy that's going to wing it. I'm going to go, okay, I'm interviewing Ryan, and we're going to have a conversation. Why do we have a conversation? Because Jonathan's not going to do research up front. We're just going to see where it goes. And so I'm pitching it as this is a great thing. It's just conversational. It's really easy. The reality is it's because I don't have time to do all the work I should be doing. Well, now, just like you said, my assistant can go, okay, you're interviewing Ryan, and literally with the deep research prompts and that, she can come back and I could have a 40-page dossier if I wanted to, for me, I can get 10 talking points and 5 recommended questions, and boom, we're off to the races. And now when I start that, the guests feel better. I end up doing a better job. My community gets a better out of it. So those are just areas, to me, just a couple, like you said, that email's helpful, or that AI is helpful. Email is where I was going to go, was the other one.
Hey, quick thing. If you've ever felt like you're leaving money on the table with your pricing, I built a free quiz that will show you exactly where. I'm super excited about this. It's called the Pricing Power Assessment. It takes like 3 minutes. You're going to answer a few questions about how you are currently pricing your projects, and it will tell you if you're a survival pricer, an uncertain estimator, or a strategic pricer. And more importantly, it's going to show you how much money you're leaving on the table per project. This could be $1,000. It could be $4,000. Either way, you'll know, and you'll get some very actionable steps and resources to actually fix it and be more profitable. Go to studiosherpas.com/quiz and take it right now. It's free. It'll take you like 3 minutes, and you will be glad that you did. Okay, let's get back into the episode.
To me, we all as business owners have to write emails that are difficult sometimes. You need to put boundaries in place. You need to tell somebody they're crazy without being mean to them, or whatever the case may be. And AI, again, it makes it so easy. I have a great client of mine, but I can only guess that she's been neglected in her life, because every time we put out
Mm.
an offer, she tends to buy it. But before she buys it, she's like, this really can't be this. And you're going to screw us by doing this. Right. And everything. I mean, she's very negative about
Oh
things.
man.
And I use AI to respond to her all the time, because it's like, look, you've been working with us for over a year. You continue to work with us because we deliver the value that we're doing. I'm really sorry that, in the past you've had so many bad experiences, but oh, by the way, would you not post this publicly on Facebook since you've had a good experience with us? And it actually works out good, because my community comes around and they're like,
Yeah.
you've been
Right.
around for a year. How do you
Right.
still ask?
Right.
But AI, those are hard things to do. And, you
Yep.
get frustrated and you're like, oh my goodness, I've talked to her 17 times about this. Why is this a problem? But it's just who she is. Well,
Yeah.
now I get to use AI, and even better, my team, Ryan, gets to use AI to help out, because now I don't have to respond to everybody myself. I've got a team, and I've empowered them with these AI tools to be able to use it. And that means they get more done as well.
Yeah.
And it's on brand, it's on style and everything else. I don't have to worry about looking and going, oh my gosh, why did
Yeah.
you write
Right.
that?
Right.
Because they're using AI that's trained on our brand to validate things. And I'm saying everything's perfect, but boy, we have far fewer than we ever have had in any business I've run in my life.
Yeah, man. Another area that I've gotten a lot of time back is, sometimes we get these requests for proposals, and I would always in the past like, I hate these things. They're gonna, triple bid this thing. We're not gonna get it. Whatever. It's gonna take forever to build this thing out. Now,
Oh yeah.
a 10-page RFP. I'm taking that baby. I'm uploading it to Chat or to Claude. I'm like, okay, what do we need to create here? You know what we do. So like, tell me all of the things that need to go in this, start it, and and it writes the
Exactly.
first version of it, and it's like, oh baby, like that took like 3 minutes, and now let me go in, I'll make a couple of tweaks here, and I don't have to spend the time. And what's also great, even if it's not like a multi-page RFP, but we get a client that reaches out and says, hey, here's what we need, and they kind of lay this out. In my response, I can make sure that I'm not forgetting something, or I'm not overlooking one of the
Oh,
details that they mentioned,
absolutely.
right? So just being able to be more, I think our brains are probably wired similarly. I'm trying to do this thing, and then I'm already thinking about 2 or 3 things down the road. So, I might leave out where they said they led with, oh, we need a 2-minute brand film, and here's blah, blah, blah. And they talked about a couple other videos, and then I'm responding on those videos, and it's like, oh, wait, nope, remember, don't forget about the brand film. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's a complete
And
thought.
it's perfect. I'm terrible. I've been terrible my entire life about managing tasks, because like I've got 6 things in my mind, and generally while I'm thinking of those, something else comes in, and then one of the first one falls off because I don't have a very wide shelf there.
Can't relate. No
And
idea what you're talking about.
AI is tremendous, because it can look at my day, it can look at my notes, especially now that we do so much on Zoom and that type of stuff. But I've even got a little voice recorder. I don't know if it's here on my desk or not. I don't know where it is. Yeah, here it is. So I was just reaching for it. So, this little thing clips on my shirt. So when I'm at a conference or meeting, in fact, at AI Marketing World, I had this on in the conversations. And literally at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you talked to Ryan and you told Ryan that you wanted to be on his podcast, and he's going to reach out to you. It records all that stuff. So now I don't have to remember it. I literally can give that transcript to it, and I've got that information, and it makes it look like I have a clue of what I'm doing. When in reality, I'm just trying to leverage that, because I can't remember everybody that I spoke to. I can't remember all the things that I truly want to do and follow up on, but I just don't remember. You've been at those conferences, and you get started, and you and I are talking, and while you and I are talking, 2 other people come up, and so as soon as we're done, then we have that kind. And there's no time to go, hang on, I just talked to Ryan and I said I was going to do this. That doesn't happen. And so the tools now exist because it is so great at data analysis. I can literally just give it that raw transcript, and it will figure out 95% of the things that are there. And when it doesn't figure it out, it's like you talked to Ryan and you promised him something, and I'm like, now I can think back and go, oh yeah, I did, versus it never coming up in my mind.
Yep. Love that. Love, tools like Fathom, and now Google Meets. We do most of our meetings with Google Meets to be able to
Same
record
thing.
those meetings.
Great tool.
Yeah, like in the past, I mean, I'm taking notes, I'm trying to listen to what a client's saying, like, oh, we need this brand film and this would be nice. And I'm furiously trying to track everything. Now it's like, oh, wait, we're gonna record this. My assistant is gonna follow up after that meeting and say, hey Ryan, you said you were gonna make this introduction, Jonathan to Jeff, and you're gonna do this and this. Like, let me put that on your calendar. It's like like so few things get missed these days. It feels I can go to bed not feeling like, what did I forget? What did I forget? What do I need to do tomorrow? Like, that's mostly gone.
How many times, I know it's happened to me, probably to you, that you've woke up at 3 a.m. and all of a sudden there's a thought that comes to you, man, and you're like, oh, I totally forgot to do that. And then,
Right.
I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And so I got to make a note about it or whatever. I got to say that rarely, if ever, happens
Yep.
anymore. I mean, it does
Yep.
occasionally, but it's really rare because, again, that data is all being captured in a way that we can then filter it and go, okay, we've got the tasks taken care of and this and that. And again, probably like you've got an assistant as well. Half of the stuff I don't even have to do now because my assistant takes
Right.
that and she's like, okay, you don't need to follow up on this. I'll take care of that and I'll take care of this.
Yeah.
And that from a lifestyle perspective,
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur and a
Oh
leader,
man.
is just amazing.
Yeah.
Your meeting one is a great one. How many times you're taking, whether in person or virtual, and you're taking notes. So half the time you're like, okay, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you're taking notes and you're trying to get enough information.
Stopping the flow.
And if you're like me, you get the bullet point, but sometimes you miss the nuance that was really important.
Yep.
Well, now we don't have to miss the nuance, and I don't have to constantly be going, okay, let me take a note. Hang on,
Yeah.
Ryan. Wait.
Right.
Okay. And so we have a better conversation. Meetings actually take less time than they did, and we build better relationships because I can focus on you, the person I'm meeting with, instead of focusing on making sure I capture every note. And to me, especially, in your business with video where you're having to track the details and get what the customer is looking for and get tons of stuff that's relevant, you've got to remember all that, or now you've got tools that can help you do that. So later, literally while you're leaving and driving back to the office or driving back home or whatever, that can be processing and going, okay, here's what you said. And like you said, we even use it for proposals now where we've got something trained on how we do, much like what it sounds like you do. It can actually take that and turn it into a draft proposal automatically. And then we just have to approve it, make sure things look good, always do a couple tweaks. There's always proofreading and, we don't want to just send it down the road, so to speak. But yeah, the efficiencies that we can gain and the better value that means we can bring to our those we serve, to me is just astounding.
Yeah. Do you use Wispr Flow at all?
I'm using it every day. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't type hardly at all on my computer anymore because I know that function key is getting worn out because that's my hotkey for Wispr Flow. But hey, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
My friend
It's a great hack, by the way. If your audience isn't doing that, my goodness.
Yes.
It is so much faster. And the other thing that, when we're dealing with AI, that's cool. It's a large language model. It deals in natural language processing. When we talk to it, like we're talking here, Ryan, the depth that it can pull out of that and the context that it can pull will blow your mind as opposed to what you type.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend Maeve Ferguson, I'm building an assessment with her, and so there's she sent me a WhatsApp message, and it was like a mile-long message that she typed out. And I'm like, what in the world? Why would you why wouldn't you just send me a voice message and she's like, oh, I use Wispr Flow. And I'm like, what is this? I've heard of it. She's like, oh my gosh, game changer. And then she told me what it was. And I'm like, that doesn't sound, I don't think I would use that. I'm pretty fast typer. But oh my gosh, to just, be able to articulate and stop. It tells you your words per minute. Like if you were typing this, and my words per minute, I think I'm at like 110, like on average. I can't type that fast. That is
I got to go look because
I
use it. It's up here on my desktop if I can find it on one of my four monitors here.
But Wispr Flow, it's Wispr Flow. That has been such a helpful tool, especially like I'm doing a lot of vibe coding. And so to be able to just hit that button and like just throw up, all over the computer and say like, here, I'm thinking about this and try this and, all of the things. It's just so much better than typing.
I've been using it for 11 weeks. I'm looking at it right here. I've done 92,000 plus words, and my average is 136 words a minute. I can't type that fast.
You're blowing me out of the water. Jeez.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, I can't type anywhere near that fast. And
no way.
And it's You know, it was so easy. Last night, my wife and I are working on a project, and she came in because we both work from home. So she came in
Yeah.
after hours, and she's like, "Hey, can we work on something?" And she laughed because I'm not typing anything in my computer. I'm literally grabbing my microphone here and pulling it over to where I'm at and reaching to my keyboard and pressing the function key. And she's
Yeah.
like, "I think I need to start using that." I'm like, "It is so amazing
Gosh.
for, I don't know, about $100 a year." I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine a better productivity tool. Even if I
Yeah.
didn't have AI, I'd use it because I talk my emails now, on my WhatsApp messages, my chats. I mean,
Yep.
virtually
Text
everything
messaging.
gets done. Yeah. And what's neat, I used to use just the native Mac ability to do that because you can do
Yeah.
that right on your Mac and do that. And
Yep.
that was great. But the problem is sometimes I'd said things in the wrong order or wouldn't get things right. The AI that's working inside of Wispr Flow is so cool because when I go, hey, I need to send Ryan a thank you for having me on the podcast. Oh, and it doesn't do the verbatim. It
Right.
actually makes it make
Cleans it
sense
up.
and puts it together. I can give it websites and email addresses and it gets them right all the time.
Yep. Yep.
It just, yeah, like I said, it blows me away.
Yeah. That's worth the cost of admission for this episode here. So you guys are welcome.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
That's a really good one. Okay, so let's just think in terms of, you are running a video production business. You are serving clients. Maybe you're working with law firms. Maybe you're filming weddings. Maybe you're, I don't know, you're doing legacy films. So you got to find clients. You got to find time to, run the business, manage the business. When it comes to marketing ourselves, because I would say my whole thing is when you build trust, I mean, that's the thing that's going to get people to want to work with you,
100%.
right? And sharing your story, being authentic, being vulnerable, showing up. And that's why social media can be so good, because that is an opportunity to be able to show up and say, hey, I'm Ryan. I ain't got it all figured out, but I'm here just showing up, being me. You might like me and I might not be for you. And if I'm not, then let's not work together. But if you sort of like or are sort of interested in what I'm saying, then let's have another or watch some more videos and maybe get to know me a little bit more. So we're not taking advantage of that in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So just say, you've got to build your influence or find some opportunities. You're really good at video. You know how to light, you know how to use a camera. You're not usually the one in front of the camera. Your clients are. What recommendations or like what comes to mind, something that we might not even be realizing, like, holy cow, if I could just do this would be so helpful in my production business.
Regardless of business, but especially as a video producer, I think one of the best things that you can do is probably going to be difficult, but it's really incredibly impactful. In fact, it's how I built my entire brand. And that's using AI to understand the questions and the fears that your audience is dealing with related to what you do. So I literally went in yesterday. If I pull up my Evernote, I could find the note I made on it. And I do this every month. I pull up, what are the 25 to 30 biggest fears and questions that my audience is asking right now. And based on that, I use AI to help me create topics. And then,
oh my gosh,
this is going to freak everybody out, and I apologize. Instead of doing the perfect video, okay, you've got your beautiful video to show in your showcase reel and all that.
right?
This isn't the time for your perfect video. This is the time to grab your smartphone and turn it around, and in a selfie style video in 90 seconds or less, go, say I shoot weddings. Are you worried that your wedding videographer is going to mess something up and as a result, you're not going to get that footage? I'm sure there's something that brides are worried about that I don't understand because it's been a long time. But answer that question in less than 90 seconds. And it could be easy. Hi, I'm Jonathan from Jonathan's Video Photography. We specialize in weddings. And let me explain how this works. At least when you hire the right videographer, here's the backup processes we have. Here's the tools we use. Here's what we do to ensure that at the end of your wedding, that one most memorable event of your life, everything works out and the video comes to you.
Yeah.
All I have to do is answer. I don't have to promote what I'm doing. In fact, you shouldn't. Don't make it a big deal about you. Just answer their questions and do that. And this is going to kill everybody. Do that so you can post every single day of the year. Ooh. 7 times. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. It literally takes minutes. I can record a month's worth of content in about an hour because each one of them 60 to 90 seconds. I get my questions. I do that. I did one the other day just to prove. I did 2 weeks worth of videos from my pickup truck while I was waiting for my wife, who was doing antique shopping, and she doesn't like me to go when I do that because I'm always like, okay, this is cool. Are we done yet? And she's like, no, I haven't even got started.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But I did over 2 weeks of videos, same t-shirt, same hat, same, and not one person ever complained that, geez, Jonathan, do you never change your shirt? No, I didn't, because I was literally recording them but I posted one a day for almost 2 weeks. And here's the key. What would you as a videographer do to get thousands of people seeing you answer their questions on a daily basis? Most of us would be, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Now, not everybody, if we're a wedding photographer, not everybody's getting married tomorrow. But if we're that wedding videographer and we're putting that content out there, and yes, we're sharing it everywhere, Facebook and Instagram and you name it, YouTube, TikTok, people are going to begin to know us. And what the algorithms do behind the thing is not even totally AI related. They're looking at people that want that content. So after about 30 to 60 days, they go, okay, Jonathan is a wedding videographer and he knows his stuff. He's got his poop in a group and he knows what to do. And so now when, of course, nobody thinks they listen, but when you get engaged, the next video that Facebook or Instagram shows you or TikTok shows you is Ryan talking about his wedding videography business, answering a question, not selling you, not going, let me tell you about our newest special and how you can save money. Answering the questions that they're freaking out about. And they're like, oh, I got to watch another one. I got to watch another one. And all of a sudden they're like, I'm hiring Ryan. They don't know what you charge. They don't care because you mentioned it. It's trust. Now they trust you. So I'm telling you, every single person listening to this podcast that's got a business, videographer or not, if you use AI to ask, what are those pain points? What are those questions? And I know it's hard. We've got all this beautiful camera equipment. I just bought a brand new L series lens and I don't use it to record these videos. I use this. Because it's more authentic and they don't need to see perfect production. You can bring in your perfect production. You can show them your highlight reel. You can show them all that. But when it comes to those questions, keep it simple. And I tell you, anybody listening, Ryan, I challenge them. If they do that for a year, and I know it sounds like a lot, but think about it, 10 minutes a day for a year. Your business, you will never have to cold call a year from now. You'll never have to, because your phone will be ringing off the hook with people that want to work with you, whether you're a wedding videographer, a commercial videographer, whether you make commercials, I don't care what it is that you do. If you're doing that, and I've done this with dozens of people, I hate to say it, I hate the word always, but it always works. You just have to do that. You got to do that every day. Publish a video. You don't have to record every day. Just publish one every day. Short and simple.
Man, I don't think I've ever been as excited about this idea as I am right now. We've promoted and talked a long time with this audience. Whenever, I'm talking to a client that wants to do video, I'll ask them that, hey, do you have, one of the quickest, easiest ways to buy back some time is to have FAQ videos on your website. And, before somebody books a discovery call with you or after they book a call on the thank you page, it's like, hey, here are the top 10 questions that, people running a business on EOS or higher ed institution. Like, this is why it's important to have a niche, because you can get really, really granular with with the questions that they're asking versus more generic, questions that when somebody needs a video, it's like, okay, if we can get really really clear on an audience. But we've been big proponents of creating these FAQ type videos to think about the research that can be done through any of these AI apps
in moments.
Uncover all of these questions. So I know the questions that clients are asking me, but then there's a bunch of questions that they're afraid to ask, that they're just fears that they have. So to think like, oh my gosh, if I'm creating content that's addressing their fears, and these, to your point, these are things, we don't need to look up the answers to these questions.
You know the answer.
You know the answers, so you can do it with your eyes closed. Don't make videos with your eyes closed, especially if you're driving. But it's just it's like, oh my goodness. The in my mind, I'm like, okay, the FAQs, that's a no brainer, and we've got 10 of them, whatever. But to think through 25 fears that people are, so I think my encouragement here, we always talk about niching down and being able to say, here is the audience that I serve. If you're still afraid to do that because you're afraid you're not going to get other work because like you turn your website into
you'll get more work that's not even related to your niche because let's say you're the wedding guy, but you love doing some other stuff. It's okay because people are going to see it and they're going to build that trust with you. And they're going to go, you're an amazing videographer and you answered the questions and oh my gosh, I love your work and I want to hire you. Oh no, I'm not getting married. I just want to do it for this. Okay. And think about it for using for clients. Let's say you do commercial video for businesses. Now in your proposal, instead of just telling them we can do an FAQ video, you can go, we did some research and we had uncovered these are the 20 top questions that your audience is asking. And we can get these videos recorded for you in the first 30 days and up. Because now as a busy business owner, who I probably know what most of them are, but I don't know what all of those questions are. Now you just made my life really easy.
Oh my gosh.
You also came across as the expert because there wasn't a single other videographer that told me what the top 20 questions are I need to answer for my audience.
Bingo. So here is one of the easiest, we'll call it lo-fi approaches to this. So you've got a client, and we always want to make beautiful work. That's, when I started doing this, we want it to be cinematic and make people cry and like, oh my gosh, that was the best video that I've ever seen for a business. It's like, yes. Well, sometimes we just need to get our foot in the door. And a lot of times in my case, we're going to sell a $10, $20, $30,000 brand film. It's hard to get somebody that has never paid for video to spend $30,000. But
absolutely,
if you have a solution that's a few $1,000s, that's going to solve some problems, address some concerns, that's like literally a client could be like, oh my gosh, if we had a video or a bunch of videos that did that. So like, let's think about, can we shoot this with an iPhone? Can maybe upgrade it a little bit and shoot it with a DJI Osmo? But if you can take the barrier out so that that videos like this don't have to feel produced, because as soon as you add the production value, there's a little bit like, oh, okay, this feels like a commercial.
The authenticity.
Like, it looks really good.
Your audience loves that authenticity.
Yes. And when the thing that I've hated for so long about these phones is that now everybody can make video, but what we're realizing is that it's the videos usually are bad, right? They're not smooth. The lighting's crappy, but it's more like you're having a conversation with somebody versus somebody pitching something to you. And that's where you build relationship, is if it feels like, oh, this is a guy just trying to help me, solve one of the frustrations or fears or whatever I have. So here's the idea. Maybe I had too much coffee this morning, but you have inspired me. Hire or get hired. Tell your client, hey, you're going to drive. We're going to just go around the block. I'm going to have my phone or a DJI Osmo, and I'm going to ask you questions. You don't even need to look at the camera. I mean, you can look over at me once in a while, but I'm just going to address or ask some of these fear questions or these FAQ questions. And so we're just riding along with you, and you're just, I'm the passenger and you're talking to the passenger. That would be one of the easiest things in the world, to hit 10, 20, 30 of these questions or statements or whatever they are. And it's content, it's helpful content. Production value is low. There's not setup, there's not tear down. It's very, very simple. So you don't have to charge an arm and a leg, and you can get somebody in the door to say, that would be really, really good. If that works out with them, then they might consider spending $10,000 or $20,000 on the flagship piece that sits on their homepage, the hero page of their website. Okay. All right. That's all I have to say about that.
No, well, I can't agree with you more. You're right though, because again, you come to me and say, spend 30 grand on that piece. I'm going to go, man, I just don't know there's a value. But when you work with me over a 90-day period and we put out 30 of those FAQ videos and then we watch them. And again, you can add a little polish to them. You make them a little special, add the logo. I love your idea of, go out to a job site with somebody and record it there, because now that even more authenticity, you can get all that figured out. And now you come back 6 months later and you're like, hey, look at the stats. Look at what's been happening. I promise you in 6 months, they're going to be going, oh my gosh, people come in all the time and tell us they watched that video and that's why they chose to work with us. And you go, you know what? Now it's time to put together something special for your audience. And then you pitch them that, but your close ratio is going to go up just astronomically because now they trust you and they've seen the value of that video. And you can make good money doing these little videos. I mean, I know it's not maybe as exciting, it's not as cinematic, but like you said, if it gets your foot in the door and starts you building that relationship, they're not going to go talk to another videographer at that point and go, okay, let's see who's got the best quote on this. They trust you. As long as your price fits their reality, you got a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to, we created these FAQ packages and we're inviting people to come to our studio and we're like, this could be the easiest entry point for clients because they're coming to us. We've already got the stuff set up. They're there for 60 minutes. We ask them, or we had them go over these 10 FAQs where they know the answers to. We don't even have to throw them on a teleprompter. They can just do it. It's going to feel human, normal, easy lift financially. So now this is like the part 2 of that of like, oh, the other neat part in that is I didn't have to be the one standing behind the camera or directing these people. Like I could have an intern that is well trained to say, okay, hit record on the camera.
Easily.
Hit record. Now tell them, okay, hey, your first FAQ that you wrote on this list is how much does it cost to work with me? Okay, go ahead and answer that question. So you don't have to be the one in the car filming this. This is a very easy lo-fi lift that doesn't require your expertise. So again, you don't have to charge a premium here. You can have one of your employees, you can hire a contractor. I mean, you want to build trust, you want to build that relationship. So if you're solopreneur, then you probably need to be in that vehicle. But if you've got an employee or more employees or whatever, then this is a great opportunity to just say, hey, if you want this lo-fi package, so-and-so is going to hop in the car with you. They're going to ask these questions. And you're just going to ask them.
Just set the expectations and then you're going to deliver because of your skill. You're going to deliver something that's far better than what they could have done. And the key think about it from your client's perspective. The key for almost everybody is they're either scared to be on video, they don't want to have to get dressed up, they're worried they're going to say the wrong thing. All of those things you can assure them they don't have to worry about because you're going to be in their environment where they're comfortable. They're not sitting in front of a bunch of hot lights or anything else because they don't need to. Yeah. They don't need to be going, does my shirt, did I get my shirt right? Is my wife going to go, oh goodness, why did you have, that in your beard, whatever the case is, speaking from personal experience, of course.
Yeah. Well, what was
because you're going to be in your environment and it's going to be simple and easy. And that's what your customer wants. They want you to deliver results that are simple and easy to them. And now you're making it as easy as possible. And you can still, if you want to upgrade it, go add some B-roll to it and things like that. If you're going to go out to the jobs that have that intern or you spend a half hour and grab some great B-roll and throw that in, you can do all of that. That's the cool thing. You could have a lo-fi package, you could have a mid-fi package, and there's so many ways you could go with this. But at the end of the day, you're going to cause that business person to watch their business increase. And that's when they're going to want to spend more money with you. And also when they're going to say to every entrepreneur friend they have, and we all have entrepreneur friends if we're in the business, they're going to go, oh my gosh, I worked with Ryan and he made this so easy. And man, my business is up 20%. Who's Ryan and how can I get a hold of him?
Dude, this is gold. This is so good. Okay. Well, I think you brought the heat on that one. Is there anything else? I think committing to anything is like, oh boy, gosh, I got another thing to hear. Now, Jonathan's saying like one video a day. I think to your point, batch recording that can be very, very easy. It can be a low lift. If you have a scheduling software, we're using VidLead where we can schedule all of our stuff and it can just spend an hour or 2 hours a week and that can be batched and planned and all of that stuff. So I think it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be very, very easy. These are things you don't have to teleprompt. You should know the answer to a lot of these and just be able to.
Literally it's somebody, I should be able to look at the question and, our most common thing in AI is, how do you deal with AI overwhelm? Because there's so many tools. Great. I've probably done 20 videos on that. The other one that I get all the time is, how do I make money with AI? And I've probably done 20 videos on that. So it's not like you can just answer it once. There's different ways to answer it. And I've never once had to script those out because I answer those questions all the time. So it's really easy. Somebody, like you said, somebody peppers the question and leads with it and says, okay, how do I deal with AI overwhelm? And that's what I do. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. Yeah. You're, again, the videographer, whatever it is, you could literally be around your office. And this would be a great way to get started. Have that intern that works with you or your assistant while you're at your office, Have them do these recordings with you while you're doing your job,
Yeah.
while you're responding to emails and all that, and go, hey, Ryan, boom, here's a question. And have them record it. That's it. And now you've recorded that content. Again, batch recording is great. How many of us have wasted an hour going to a job site to do setup or driving, got caught in traffic? Wasting an hour as part of running any business happens all the time.
Yeah.
We're talking taking one of those wasted hours a week and just turning it into answering some simple questions that you already know the answers to.
So good. So do you think there's like another something, not at that level, but another area where it's like, man, you could get so much time back, or as a video professional, here's what I would be doing, that I'd be using this tool. I think this could be really, really helpful.
Well, I want to encourage everybody. Video is changing so fast with AI right now, and we see literally every week there's new things coming out.
Oh my gosh.
I want to encourage you, especially as a professional, you've got your tool sets, you've got the things you're used to using. Be open. Don't be chasing the bright, shiny object, because there's always a bright, shiny object and you're going to waste time. But be open to the fact that, within the next couple of months, your editing process will likely be able to change dramatically, and probably for the better because of it. I had this discussion with my graphics team this morning. I have a great team of people that create graphics for me. But you know what? Google and ChatGPT now are doing it even better and faster. And so we've developed a new process. My team is still doing the design, but instead of them taking a blank sheet and starting with a blank sheet, they're now starting to go to either Nano Banana and Google, or they're going to ChatGPT. They're describing the graphic we need, and it's creating 2 or 3, and now they're using that for inspiration. We found out it cuts our production time over half.
Yeah, insane.
Well, that means if you're doing that same thing, and that same type of thing will start happening in video and all the, just be open to that as it happens. We're seeing it already. Adobe's releasing stuff. Apple's telling us they've got brand new tools coming out for, I don't know if you heard this, but we're all Adobe nuts, but Apple's supposedly got an entire suite coming out for $12 a month that's going to compete with Adobe. And it's filled. They just signed a massive deal with Google for AI. So be open. Don't chase the tools, because you can waste a lot of time again, but be open that there's going to be things that happen. And as somebody in the video business, I would say every 60 to 90 days, try to spend and get a reset on where is the technology and what should I be looking at implementing. Don't implement that bleeding edge stuff, because it's going to change so rapidly and it may not work. Don't believe all the marketing hype you hear, because most of the marketing hype is just that. But know those tools that you're good at, watch what they're doing, and start getting some of those efficiencies that they're going to come through. That way you get to focus on the things you love. Maybe it's just a passion project that you go, look, I want to do video about this because I'm passionate about it, but it doesn't pay much money, so I need to make my money doing other. Great. Use AI to make the money, and then lean into your passion project. There's so many areas. Ops-wise, client onboarding, as we talk about other areas. Use AI to evaluate your current onboarding process. So you get a new deal. Whew, great, we got the new deal. What's next? Well, we all know that's client communications important. Client expectation setting is important. Use AI. And by the way, that could be ChatGPT. It could be Gemini. It could be Claude. It could be any of those tools. Grok. I don't care. Just have it evaluate what you're currently doing. Well, here's what normally happens when we send actually, we don't have a process for that. I guess I send them an email and we schedule something. Let AI help you put a process together. And then once you've defined it, you can even set up automations, like you said, with your software, so that, all right, somebody signs a contract. As soon as we get a payment, it triggers something and goes, wow, Ryan, we're so happy to have you part of our family, and we're so excited about your project. It references the project. It references the notes. It pulls some information into that. All of that can, either now or in the very near future, literally be automated for your business to improve that customer onboarding experience, to set those expectations. That's a really big deal. Imagine having somebody that was trained on all of we talked questions, but imagine somebody was trained on all the questions that your customers ask. And instead of them calling your team and asking, how many shirts do I need to have, or how many dress changes do I need, or whatever, you give them access to a tool that lets them ask any question they have, and that answers those questions the way you want them answered. And then only if that's not suitable do they reach out to you. It'd probably take 80% of those, yeah, okay, I'll talk to Sally again. Probably take 80% of those questions away, especially, I'm going to be particular, if you're in the bridal industry and you're dealing with a bride and her mom, oh my gosh, imagine how much time that could save you.
Right. Dude, genius. And I like, I like the idea of saying like this can be a partner in your business, like to
Yes.
just think, I need you to create, 10 social clips or something like that, so I don't have to do anything. It's like, no, it should really accentuate, like who you are, what you care about.
Yeah.
It should help you find time. I know, dude, I did not realize the size of the community that you have built. Talk to us a little bit for the people that are like, man, Jonathan is amazing. Everything that he's said so far, this is really, really helpful. How can I plug into, if he has courses or community or whatever, share a little bit about, for those people that do want to.
Super easy. We've got a community right now, just about 500,000 people that we reach out to on a daily basis about AI. All entrepreneurs, by the way, the same thing as your listeners here. If you want to join us, it's entirely free. I give away a ton of stuff for free. I've got some paid stuff too. We got to pay the bills, but that's if it makes sense. Remember my name. It's Jonathan Mast. You go to jonathanmast.com/linktree and you'll see access to everything you need. You can reach out to me. You can join my group, all that. Again, tons of free resources. If you forget that, just remember the Whitebeard AI guy and search for Whitebeard and AI. And at the moment, we're the top 5 or 6 spots. You'll get over to us. But yeah, tons of free resources. We'd love to have you join our community. There's no hard selling. If you like what we do, great. We'll happily take your money. But if you don't, you can just hang out and get value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love that, man. This has been so good. I'm fired up. I do. I appreciate your perspective, and there is wisdom here. So whatever your wife was saying, like I'm on the same page with her. I think.
Well, I appreciate validating, because I have to remind her of that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh man, how do you want to leave us today?
I just want to leave you that you guys are in an amazing business in the video world, and let AI amplify your creativity. You guys have such amazing creativity, but sometimes we get so bogged down in the day-to-day running our business that we can't be the creative we want. Leverage AI, be open to it, and let it give you time to amplify your creativity, and you're going to love life even more.
Dude, so good. Jonathan, I'm super grateful. This was awesome. Really, really appreciate you coming on today and sharing all the goodness. Hey, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Grow Your Video Business podcast. If you got something out of today's conversation, do me a favor, share it with a friend or post it on your socials. Tag me at Ryan Coral or at Grow Your Video Business. I'd love to know what resonated with you. If you've got a question or a takeaway, drop a comment wherever you're listening or watching this. You can also shoot me a message. I read every single one. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. We've got more stories, strategies, and behind the scenes insights coming your way to help you build a business that you love. Keep creating, keep sharing your story, and keep showing up. I'm cheering you on. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you next time.